Welcome back to Between Bells. Misty Copeland made herstory as the first African-American female principal dancer with the American Ballet Theater. Today, she's flexing her muscles and inspiring others to do the same. The professional ballet dancer is partnering with Ford for a new social campaign called #ShowSomeMuscle. It's celebrating the strength of women. Here to tell us more and all about it is Misty Copeland herself. Misty, so good to have you with us on the show. A great campaign. How are you encouraging women to tell their stories via this partnership?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. No, it's really exciting, and I think really important for me, when I do join forces with different brands, that it really makes sense and aligns with who I am and what I stand for. And I can't think of a better and more appropriate timing wise, campaign, joining forces with Ford and the Mustang Mach-E Show Some Muscle campaign. It's really, when I think about even myself as a ballerina, it's not something that people would typically think of as outwardly strong, or even, not even being considered athletes until, a couple of years ago. And the extreme inner strength that so many women possess, to be aligned with a muscle car, I think is so beautiful and so bad, you know what? To be able to encourage women just to share their stories of strength, and that it's not just physical strength, but inspiring, personal stories of their focus and perseverance and resiliency and compassion and creativity. And I'm honored to be a part of such an incredible campaign and showing all that women are capable of.
That is great. Misty, I feel like few things require as much strength as ballet dancing, so this makes a lot of sense. And Misty, for this campaign, you said in an Instagram story that as a ballerina, staying positive and keeping up the training to get ready for the return to the stage has taken real muscle. What's it been like keeping up with training, both emotionally and physically, during this pandemic?
It's been extremely difficult, for a lot of classical dancers. We don't get into this field to become rich or famous. It's really an investment in something that we are passionate about. And so, we're not receiving the same, funding or, investments in us as, most athletes do. So it's really difficult in this time when we don't have the proper, if we don't have facilities within our homes. There's no way for us to really keep up the training in a way that we need to be able to perform at the level, high level that, we're used to performing at. So I think more so than just thinking of myself in this time and how difficult it's been for me, I think a way for me to stay positive and heal is to be able to do something for my community and for the ballet community. So starting Swans for Relief, a campaign to bring relief funds to dancers globally. I brought together 32 ballerinas, 31 of my ballerina sisters, from 22 different professional ballet companies and from 14 different countries, in a GoFundMe campaign to help struggling dancers in this time that aren't able to perform while theaters are closed.
For people who are watching and do want to help via this Swans for Relief Fund, how can they go about doing that?
Swans for Relief at GoFundMe. The campaign is still going strong, and you can watch an incredibly beautiful and moving performance of 32 ballerinas all performing the same iconic variation. So we would love your support.
That's great. And Misty, you're also out with a new book called Bunheads, inspiring young dancers to feel comfortable in the studio and on stage. I have a little 3-year-old niece who just started ballet dancing lessons over Zoom, so I'll be sure to get that for her.
Oh,
how does this draw on your childhood experience, this book? How are you using your own experiences to inform it?
Yeah, I really wanted to bring my actual experiences with this book. So, all of the characters are people that are, have come through my life, have impacted me in some way. But I really wanted to kind of shift that idea and the stereotypes of what people think of when they think of classical dance. The way it's depicted in film and in the media, which often can be negative, eating disorders and cutthroat competition. And that's just not a lot of people's experiences, especially as a young person, being creative and going into the studio and finding different relationships and friendships. And so it's really about a young Misty coming into the studio, a young biracial girl who ends up becoming best friends with a young Mexican American girl, Catalina. And we learn the ballet Coppelia together. So we tell the story of Coppelia within the story of Bunheads. And it's really about, these friendships and pushing pushing each other and challenging one another. I just think it's such a positive thing to show such different body types and diversity and within this book. And there's even a young boy in it, a character just really encouraging everyone, to be a part of dance, and that it should represent everyone. And that's something that I really believe in and hope to carry on for as long as I'm here.
I love that you're incorporating conversations of diversity into this. My ballerina niece is also biracial, so that's just a great message to have to these young dancers. But Misty, thank you again for your time, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing. That's Misty Copeland. She's a ballet dancer and author. Thanks again, Misty.